Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramerica. I've been with friends. I'm just trying to make you a little money. My job is not just to entertain, but to educate, put things in context. So call me, 1-800-743-CBC. Tweet me, Jim Cramer. Now, you probably don't want to hear this, but we can't afford to get sick of the artificial intelligence story. It's driving so many big moves from major players. Yet I see the yawns, I hear the cat calls, as if it's all overdone, as if it's all unimportant. And that, my friends, is dead wrong. And today's the proof. Dow gaining 741 points, S&P jumping 2.05%, NASDAQ polarly 2.47%. Moves that were heavily influenced by AI. Now, most of this run was about a terrific consumer confidence number in the EU talking about fast-tracking a trade deal after President Trump sounded much more conciliatory over the weekend, delaying the implementation of a 50% tariff until July 9th. It was a welcome reprieve. It allowed us to rally. Allowed us. But you see, I think AI also made a huge difference. No, I'm not talking about chatbots that blackmail people or refuse to shut down when asked or other crazy stuff that we keep hearing about. I'm talking about how the executives you must watch on our network are constantly and consistently adapting to the world of artificial intelligence. Why don't we start with Elon Musk, as almost everyone else does? This morning we get up to read still one more slag article about how bad Tesla's sales are. This time it's in Europe. And then we see Wall Street research about how Musk's mere presence is hurting sales because he's made himself a controversial figure. Sell. You live by the Doge chainsaw, you die by the Doge chainsaw. Except it's not true. Despite all the negative publicity and the horrendous sales versus the competitors, it's done nothing to hurt the stock of Tesla. In fact, as Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas presciently predicted, the fading of Tesla's car sales has actually brought to the fore all of Musk's other big initiatives. Now, I'm not talking about that giant rocket headed to Mars. That's not a Tesla production. I'm talking about self-driving, specifically in Austin, Texas, next month at this time. But most importantly, I'm talking about Optimus, his humanoid robot project that will soon be a business, and when it launches, it will be a fabulous one. Musk's full self-driving initiative is run on AI, specifically neural networks, which give you more adaptive human-like behavior than the other systems. And that's why investors can ignore Tesla's car sales. They believe Musk got the best-selling self-driving technology, and that's what's going to matter. That's why the stock won't quit. And then if President Trump gets involved, it won't be pushing for cars to go from Austin to Houston. It'll be having Tesla self-driving all over the interstate highway system, which last I looked is still federal. Tesla, the tech company, is much more powerful than Tesla, the automaker. And that's why the stock finished up nearly 7% today. Start understanding that that's what matters. Now, part of that's also because they buy so many terrific chips from NVIDIA. When NVIDIA reports tomorrow, it's going to have to break out of this hyperscaler hell and no longer be defined by the data center orders. In the last few quarters, we've seen an element of cynicism about NVIDIA's business that is truly pathetic, almost heartbreaking. You know, all that matters for the bulls is to check how much Meta, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Oracle are spending on data centers. Then decide if it's still as important to use NVIDIA versus homegrown chips. Now, that's a thimbleful of NVIDIA knowledge and nothing more. We're thinking way too small about this amazing company somehow being trapped by the possibility of weaker revenue numbers. Weaker revenue numbers? This is a new industrial revolution, people. Selling NVIDIA here, it's like selling the steam engine 200 years ago before it really got rolling. All aboard! What matters is that NVIDIA has expanded its work to tie up with other industries like Tesla and self-driving. NVIDIA is doing business with a plethora of wealthy countries that need the latest and the greatest. Yes, right now China's not going to be as important because NVIDIA's chips are so powerful, they can't sell the best ones to the Chinese. The bias is to say that none of these will equal the size of the repurchase of a single hyperscaler. I come back and say, wait a second. Did you see the size of that Humane project in Saudi Arabia? How about the Stargate UAE project? How about all these sovereign governments? You think these are small? I think it's crazy. The Gulf states all have money to burn. But how about NVIDIA's competitors? Aren't they nipping at the heels? Look, with this quarter, I bet we'll see NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang talking about the advantage he has over anyone attempting to make an accelerated chip. He's got the software, for heaven's sake. Specifically, I'm thinking of NVIDIA's Omniverse for advanced simulations to build things in record time with far fewer mistakes. We're talking building ships, factories, using a digital twin, the largest market in the world. Or how about NVIDIA Groot, a customizable foundational model for humanoid reasoning that was just talked about at Computex in Taiwan last week? That's NVIDIA software, not NVIDIA hardware, stupid. I mean, person. Why isn't anyone talking about this? even with the stock up more than 3% today, I will ask Jensen tomorrow when he comes on this show after earnings. Now, I can see Mark Benioff at Salesforce on the eve of earnings, asking why aren't people talking about the deal he just made to buy Informatica. Don't they realize that that helps customers understand and protect their data better than anything else out there? Don't they know that Informatica is a treasure trove of metadata, creating an index of things like when and where you took a picture? Just tremendous amounts of data about other data. Metadata. Don't they see that when you're talking about agentics, there's a layer of skepticism at the regulated industries, thinking healthcare, banking, that prohibits the widespread introduction of AI? Informatica could take care of that. It could help rebut the objections. Plus, it'll help people not just observe their data, but interpret it, kind of like what Splunk did for Cisco or Snowflake does, and we heard them last week. Sure, Salesforce paid $8 billion for something. It could develop itself over time, but it doesn't have time because their customers want it now. Wall Street doesn't like this deal, but the stock still rallied 1.5% today. What was that about? Which brings me to the last AI story, the endless carping about how Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, is missing the AI boat, and therefore Apple's phones are falling behind. Not something you felt if you bought the stock Friday, as the stock rallied $5 today to get back over 200. Now, I've been following this Tim Cook story for, I don't know, how about a decade? Now, how about over a decade? People have said Apple's falling behind since the iPhone 5, that Apple's best days have been occurred before 2012. I followed it through 4 watches, 4 sets of AirPods, all sorts of Macs. I recognize that Siri can be obtuse. She can't do what so many other AI systems can do. In fact, she isn't even AI, leaving Apple open for, open for what? When it's ready, you'll get it. And they won't rush it out the door just to please Wall Street. There, that's Apple's AI mission, to get it right for you, not this street that's right over here. Plus, every company that's spending hundreds of billions of dollars buying NVIDIA chips, scraping data, trying to understand it, and then sell it to you, lacks one thing: customers, the 1.5 billion people who use an iPhone. Tim's got the divisions. They just have to spend. You say the president won't let Tim Cook alone until he personally overturns some soil in some forgotten part of Texas, maybe one of the twin cities of Midland, Odessa, or how about Marfa, where the movie Giant was made? That's where James Dean, it was his last movie. Go look it up. I say enough is enough here. When AI is ready, and it's obviously not, or else ChatGPT wouldn't have to spend so much time apologizing, Tim Cook will have the best. He'll have the best AI. Cook's North Star is client satisfaction. And over time, that strategy has proven winner. Also winner today with the stock up 2.5%. So let's think of it. Think of it like this. Name me 4 execs in tech. I think 3 of them can go just by their first names. You know, I'm talking like a share thing here. Jensen, Tim, Elon. The 4th is last name. They only know him as Benioff. Tomorrow night, we will have Jensen and Benioff on the show after their earnings are released, and we'll pick them apart, the bottom line. The 4 biggest names in tech, in all business, honestly, are wrestling with AI every day. Oh, you want to be bored with it? You want your eyes to roll? Oh, be my guest. But I think you'll miss on a lot of gains that will be taken by those who refuse to write off this technology as some sort of scam, including the big 4 that I just tapped tonight. I want to go to JJ in California right now. JJ.
Hi, Jimmy. First-time caller. Thanks to you and your amazing team for all the valuable investment insights.
Which one?
What?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm just, wow. Well, that's very nice. Thank you very much. So what stock are we looking at?
Okay, here's my question. I got distracted and missed buying CoreWeave after its IPO. With the stock up by a lot since March, is it still a buy?
No, JJ, we can't buy it here. I said that this morning at our morning meeting that I do for club members, and I said, look, I think the world of this stock. I recommended it at 40. That looks like a pretty darn good call. Ben Stoto, who's my chief scientist, and we got together and said, this one is for real, and you should buy it. But up here, up 210% since its IPO, I got to check my enthusiasm. Notice I didn't say curb. Check, okay? Hey, why don't we go to Curtis in California, please? Curtis.
Hey, Cramer.
Curtis.
I got a question for you about Warner Brothers. I was a big AT&T investor, and when AT&T split off Warner Brothers, I got a couple hundred shares, and I was wondering what would you do with those couple hundred of shares now?
Okay, here's my feeling, all right? David Zaslav runs Warner Brothers Discovery. He's done the first thing absolutely right. He has made that balance sheet to be palatable. Now he just has to break out of the hell that is linear and be thinking about all the new exciting things that can be done. I want you to stay long those couple hundred. I would even be tempted, dare I say, and not just because the Knicks, the Knicks are not really, I would actually buy the stock. That's right. I would buy Warner Brothers Discovery. I'm willing to stick my head out and see what happens. Now, if you don't think AI is a key story for stocks, I think you'll be missing out on a lot of gains in the near future. Gains that will be taken by people who do believe in the thesis. Maybe you don't like money. Hey, that's fine too. On Mad Money tonight, could the company behind North Face do an about face and move higher? We got to size up Vans, but don't forget Vans. Yeah, I mean, don't forget, we have to size up VF Corp. Don't forget Vans, though. Then you called in and you stumped me on Stride and on ADT. So I've done the homework on these two names, and I'm ready to turn in my findings. Hey, and the cyber ETF hit a new all-time high today, with Okta helping to lead the charge. But with the stock plummeting after earnings, what the heck is going on here? Why don't we do this? Why don't we go straight to the source? Let's speak to the CEO. And, of course, we stay with Cramer.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadMentions. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.